What happens when two of entertainment's most powerful women collide live on television, and millions are watching? Today we're looking at one of the most intense and unforgettable moments in daytime TV history, Jennifer Lopez's explosive confrontation with Kelly Clarkson. What began as a friendly, upbeat interview quickly spiraled into icy tension, harsh words, and an emotional walk-off that left the entire studio stunned. It started like any other episode of the Kelly Clarkson Show. The audience cheered, the lights glowed bright, and Kelly smiled warmly as she welcomed her guest. Jennifer Lopez, dressed in an elegant white blazer, walked onto the stage with her usual grace, flashing that signature confident smile. "Welcome back to the show. I am so excited to have the incredible Jennifer Lopez here today," Kelly announced, her voice full of enthusiasm. "You look absolutely stunning, and everyone's dying to hear about your new film." Jennifer smiled politely. "Thank you, Kelly. Always great to be here with you and your amazing audience." The conversation began smoothly. They chatted about Jennifer's movie, her music, and her recent ventures. The chemistry between the two seemed natural, warm, lighthearted, and full of mutual respect. The crowd was engaged, laughing at anecdotes, clapping after every answer. Then Kelly shifted gears. "Jennifer, your success across film, music, and business is just incredible. But I have to ask, have you ever felt you've had to prove yourself more than men in your industry?" Jennifer's expression didn't change much, but her eyes sharpened slightly. "Kelly, every woman in this business has had to fight harder. The expectations are higher, the judgments are harsher, and we constantly have to prove our worth twice over." Kelly nodded, leaning forward, sensing an opportunity to go deeper. "That makes a lot of sense," she said. "I remember reading about some challenges early in your career. You know, how you handled certain situations with other artists or producers. Looking back, do you see those moments differently now?" The air in the room changed instantly. The chatter stopped. Jennifer's smile froze. "I'm not sure what you're referring to," she said carefully. "I've always handled myself professionally." Kelly, not sensing the danger yet, pushed on. "Oh, I didn't mean anything bad. Just some of those reports about being a perfectionist or maybe a bit demanding on set. I thought it would be interesting to hear your perspective." Jennifer's tone cooled. "Kelly, I think there's some confusion here. I've always treated people with respect. If you're asking me to respond to tabloid rumors, I'd rather not." The audience grew uneasy. The tension was visible. Kelly tried to smile through it. "Of course I didn't mean it negatively. I just meant that you've kept high standards, which is inspiring." Jennifer's posture stiffened. "Let me be clear. I've built my career through hard work, not by being difficult. If having high standards makes me demanding, then I'm proud of that. But I won't let anyone twist that into something ugly." Kelly's face fell. "Jennifer, I truly didn't mean to offend you." Jennifer leaned forward, her voice sharp but steady. "Kelly, why bring up vague rumors at all? Why ask questions that have nothing to do with why I'm here? You had to know that would put me in a defensive position." Kelly took a deep breath, realizing she'd crossed a line. "You're right," she said softly. "My intention was to start a conversation about women in the industry, but I phrased it wrong. It was clumsy. I'm sorry." Jennifer studied her for a moment, her expression unreadable. "Kelly, for women in this business, and especially women of color, every interview is a test. We're constantly proving we're not what the tabloids say we are, that we're not divas, that we're not difficult. It's exhausting." Kelly nodded. "You're right," she admitted. "That's the real conversation we should have had." Jennifer's eyes flashed. "But we didn't. You brought gossip. Do you know what it's like to fight the same lies year after year?" The studio was silent. Kelly's voice trembled. "Jennifer, I'm truly sorry. Can we talk about what that's like?" Jennifer cut her off sharply. "No, you don't get to create a problem and then ask me to fix it for you on live television. If you wanted a real conversation, you should have come prepared, with respect." Kelly's composure started to crumble. "You're absolutely right," she said, tears glistening in her eyes. "I mishandled this." Jennifer's voice hardened. "And now you're asking me to educate you again, on national TV. Either I fix your mistake, or I get labeled difficult again. Do you see how unfair that is?" The audience held their breath. Kelly's voice cracked. "I never meant to hurt you, Jennifer. I swear." "But you did," Jennifer replied coldly. "You invited me here under false pretenses. You made this about gossip instead of my work." That's not professionalism. Kelly's voice shook. Please, can we take a moment? Go to commercial? We can talk privately. Jennifer stood up abruptly, unclipping her mic. No, Kelly, I'm done. I won't sit here and be disrespected. Jennifer, please, Kelly begged. Don't go. We can make this right. Jennifer shook her head, her tone calm but final. You had your chance. You could have asked about my craft, my journey. Instead, you went with tabloid stories. That was your choice. Kelly wiped away tears. I made a mistake, and I'll do anything to fix it. Jennifer's gaze was unwavering. The mistake wasn't just the question. It was assuming my reputation and dignity were fair game for ratings. The set fell into chaos. Producers whispered into headsets. Camera operators froze. The audience sat in stunned silence. Kelly tried one last time. Jennifer, can't we use this moment to help other women? To turn this into something good? Jennifer turned, her eyes blazing. Kelly, you don't get to hurt someone and then ask them to help you fix it for your show. The room went completely still. Jennifer placed her microphone on the chair, the sound echoing like a thunderclap. You don't get to wound someone and then ask them to participate in your redemption story. Kelly broke down, tears streaming. I never wanted to hurt you. Jennifer's voice softened slightly but stayed firm. But you did. You turned what could have been an uplifting conversation into a spectacle. You wanted good TV and you got it. She picked up her purse, her movements precise and calm. Kelly reached out, desperate. Jennifer, please. Jennifer paused near the edge of the set, turned and said quietly, I hope you learned something. That respect matters more than ratings. That guests are human beings, not headlines. With that, she walked off stage. The studio was silent. The production team rushed forward, trying to salvage what was left. The cameras captured Kelly sitting at her desk, head in her hands, whispering, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No applause. No laughter. Just the weight of what had happened. The cheerful talk show had become a lesson in respect, professionalism, and how quickly things can unravel when boundaries are crossed. The footage would go viral within hours. Headlines would explode. Some would defend Jennifer for standing her ground. Others would call her reaction too harsh. But everyone would agree on one thing. This wasn't just another celebrity spat. It was a moment of truth about the pressure women face in the spotlight. And as the cameras finally cut to black, Kelly Clarkson was left to pick up the pieces of one of the most talked about interviews in television history. So what do you think really caused this explosive confrontation? Was Jennifer right to walk away, or should she have stayed and tried to work things out? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories from the world of entertainment.